Hello everyone, welcome back to C.A.R. Entertainment. I am your host Dylan Hamilton, and we are today going to be talking about AS1 business studies and the process of outsourcing. Something that's very, very important to a lot of businesses, especially a lot of those businesses that are trying to grow, as because they want to minimize the amount of capital they're spending that they can use in growth in terms of their production. So outsourcing is basically a cheaper way of getting the production done for you. Let's get straight in there and I'll explain a bit about it. So essentially, what is it? Outsourcing, a definition, it is the act of one company contracting with another company to provide services that might otherwise be performed by in-house employees, otherwise known as your own employees. Outsourcing will occur whenever suppliers are involved in activities that can be undertaken by a firm. So let's just get into what exactly I mean by that. So outsourcing, then I'll give you an example and then we'll talk about these advantages. You can read through them on the screen. An example would be, for example, would be BT, for example. They are outsourcing their phone lines to Indian call centers because it's cheaper and they get better workforce out of it. It could be, for example, wood. It could be fair trade, stuff like that. They're outsourcing the materials. They're getting a part of the production done from another company in another part of the world because it's cheaper. So the advantages of this then is that you have reduced staffing costs because you're not paying the employees from the other company. You have well-trained staff provided by the outsourced company because they're specifically trained to do so. Workload and stress levels are reduced because you're taking on less work, less of a workload yourself. Less investment risk, as your site supplier, the person who you've outsourced the work to, will take the risk of investing in it. Your capital will be reduced because of this less investment, and you'll also have less need to raise finance because you don't need to keep bringing the finance in to produce this stuff because it's being outsourced. The lower cost will increase your profits, and there'll be more capital then for research and development, which will speed up the development of new products, increase innovation, and therefore repeat trade and just your brand image, and overall just skyrocket your profits in your business. Of course, there's disadvantages that come of outsourcing though. You have the potential of poor customer service, as communication could be difficult due to cultural differences. Existing employees you have could be demotivated because they think, right, we're not good enough to do this job, so they've outsourced it. This would mean their jobs are at risk and they'll reduce their productivity. The quality of production cannot be guaranteed because it's by a person thousands of miles away and you can't control their quality control system. It can be more difficult to implement just-in-time systems, reducing the need for working capital. There can be a breakdown in communication in the production chain, like in 2.1. There could be a loss of security data as the customer data is available to external businesses, and you also have lost tax revenues to the home government. Now, there are multiple factors that influence the decision to outsource. The first one is available capacity. If you have a high level of spare capacity, then you'll do it in-house. You'll do this work in-house. Because you can afford to. But if you have a shortage of capacity, then outsourcing is probably going to be a much more financially viable solution. The second one is expertise. A company which does the work, a company which will do the work that is outsourced will possess a better production, leading to more efficient production. After all, if you're going to outsource, you need to make sure that company is going to do it to a better standard than you will. Quality considerations. A business will sell if a business sells a product based on the basis of quality, outsourcing can be risky as it's more difficult for a business to control and maintain the quality of the product that it sells. Another one is the nature of demand. This is quite a big one because a business will need to protect itself from sudden fluctuations in demand. We'll get on, if you're in year 14, you'll be able to learn about this in A22 when you talk about the economics and the monetary policy. Because sudden fluctuation in demand and interest rates, etc., will affect all of this here. But just the decision to outsource nature of demand is quite important because if demand is stable or consistent, then you'll produce in-house because you know that your product is in demand, or you know how much demand, you know how much you need to produce. But when you're outsourcing, you've given a contract, you've told them how much you need to produce. You can't change that really unless you have a good outsource, and then you can change it adjustingly. Cost is another factor. This is whenever production is not one of the core competencies, then it means it's a good source to outsource, as there'll be a low wage and reduced rental payments for the property. Level of risk is then the penultimate one, as it gives outsourcing increases the risk because you have a loss of control over the operation. And finally, the impact on profits. The outsource of the subcontract will result in lower profits, as another business will be making a profit from this particular element of production, but in general you will make more profit because you have less expensive, and generally the one you can definitely get is that you will have better cash flow. So thank you for watching this video on outsourcing. I've been Dylan Hamilton from C.A.R. Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.